self-service analytics. Okay, the first part is today, and then the next one is in January. You obviously know we meet at the end of each month, but December is a holiday. So today we've got 2 speakers lined up. Let me just get this going. Right, we've got. We're actually going to cut out the news today and basically get straight to the 2 main speakers. Okay, so in today's session, we've got Tableau and SAP Analytics Cloud presenting to us. And then in the January event, we've got Qlik and Microsoft presenting. So that's the lineup. But today in particular, Tableau, we've got Andre Nienaber here, up from Cape Town. Delighted you could join us.
Thank you.
Apologies again to our special visitor that we are so late and in this case disorganized with different rooms and starting times and really chaotic this afternoon. But in this case, thank you for joining us. Delighted to have you here. You're an enterprise account manager and Tableau specialist. I'm really looking forward to what you've got to share with us today. Obviously on the topic of AI analytics, I know that Tableau's got some really good stuff. So that's why we're so excited to see it. So thank you for that. Just a quick one before you kick off. I just mentioned, just in terms of some etiquette, we'll get to the survey and the GitHub stuff later, but just those who are on Teams, if you could just mute yourself, please. And how do you want to do questions? Hold it to the end, or what's best?
Let me pause maybe after
Yes.
some sections, and then I can take
Okay.
some questions.
Right, so Andre says he's going to pause at various stages during his presentation if there are questions, so just wait until those slots, please. So if you're online and you've got a question, just put up your hand or put a question in the chat. Kaylin's monitoring that, which is great. So with that case, I'm going to stop sharing and hand over to you. Have you got sharing rights?
Yes.
Okay,
I think so.
great. Right, there we go. We've got your desktop.
Perfect. So thank you first of all for inviting me to this event. I'm very passionate about analytics and even being part of the data community. And that's a passion I share with Tableau. We also very much focused on what we call our data family. So just out of interest, if you've never seen how Tableau is used a lot, you can go to Tableau Public. That is our biggest platform where more than 11 million Tableau users come together. So go check it out. There's a lot of interesting ways how people use analytics, how they visualize it. A lot of people use it for their personal use. You know, people build their CVs on it. So a very interesting platform called Tableau Public. But that's not the reason why we're here today. So just introduce myself. As Sven said, my name is Andre Nienaber. I'm based down in Cape Town. I have been working for Salesforce for the last 4 years, since Salesforce has opened their office in South Africa. And I look after the analytics product portfolio for Salesforce. Of course, any I think there's a little bit of a delay, but any presentation of Salesforce, I have to put up the forward-looking statement just to say that make your purchasing decisions on products that's available at the current moment. So let's get that out of the way.
And may I interrupt you? I should have said it earlier. The session is being recorded, so please be aware. And not only is it being recorded, we're going to put it up on YouTube and our user group platform. So please be aware of that as well, those online and in person. Is that fine with you as well?
Yes, perfect. Yeah. So this is just, if you're not familiar with Tableau, hopefully you are. If you're not, Tableau is not new in the market. We've been going since way back in 2003. You'll see here in about 2019 is when Salesforce acquired Tableau. And of course, a lot of rumors at that time were that Tableau will completely fall away. But that's not the case. So since the acquisition happened, we have really ramped up the development from a product perspective, and very recently from an AI perspective as well. So of course, Salesforce is going on a very big artificial intelligence drive, and we're seeing the same thing with Tableau. And hopefully today I can give you a little bit of a sneak peek of how do we approach the world of artificial intelligence. And I want to maybe break it up in two different parts, because a lot of times we see a lot of people focus AI capabilities more on an analyst perspective, so your developers, but they completely forget about the front-end business users, where Tableau has really decided that we want to basically infuse AI across both areas within business. So from an analyst perspective and from a business user executive perspective as well. And hopefully today you will see how do we actually achieve with our different technologies, all that we've said. So I want to break it up in three different areas today, and this is just because the portfolio of Tableau is quite big, and I want to show you what are the AI capabilities in each of these platforms. So when we look on my left, Tableau Server and Tableau Cloud. So Tableau Server has been our traditional Tableau product. It's been out since the start. It's still there. You can actually take the Tableau Server and install it on-premise still. Or what we've done is we've actually then taken that Tableau Server environment and we've shifted it to the cloud. Can I just maybe close this?
Yes. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, it was just some noise from outside. So you can actually take the Tableau Server environment and move it to our Tableau Cloud. So that's a full SaaS offering. But what is interesting is that both the backends is 100% the same. So you can start with Tableau Server on-premise, or you can actually take Tableau Server and install it on your cloud of choice. And then later on, if you want to, and you don't want to manage your own environment, you can actually move it to our fully hosted cloud offering. And then on the right is our very newest offering called Tableau Next. It's the world's first agentic analytics product. And that is a product that's been actually built from the ground up. And that is actually built on top of Salesforce core platform. And I will cover a little bit if we have time around Tableau Next. So let's unpack what is the AI capabilities that we have within a Tableau Server. So again, if I refer to Tableau Server, I just call it the on-premise version of our software. And what we call Tableau Agent. So Tableau Agent is when you refer to that first slide I gave about the analysts and the business users. The Tableau Agent is basically very much focused on your analysts, your BI users going to develop your dashboards, looking at those insights. So it's more focused on, I call it the AI assistant. There's a couple of areas where Tableau Agent will be able to provide assistance to those users as well. So one area is called in Tableau Prep. So if you've not heard of Tableau Prep, so typically when you develop in Tableau, you use our Tableau desktop product, where you can basically do your, if I just go one slide back. So on the right here, you'll see you have your data, and then you basically drag and drop it, and then it will actually help you visualize the data. So that is basically our desktop product from a visualization perspective. But then we actually have a product called Tableau Prep. It's also a desktop product, and I call it like the last minute ETL. So if you have Excel documents, you don't have a fully working data warehouse where everything is structured properly. You want to bring in the data, you want to clean it, you want to join it, you want to combine it, split it, all of those wonderful things. You can use Tableau Prep. What we've now done is with Tableau Agent is that we've now enabled certain capabilities where you can interact with the Tableau Agent. Firstly, to help you basically clean up the data. So let's say the data has an address field and a PO box, and you don't know how to split it out. in natural language, you engage with the agent and you say, this column, please remove the PO box and create a separate column for us. So that is the one area where Tableau agent in prep can be able to help you clean the data and prepare it. The second areas is, for example, if you want to create calculations. So if you want to create a profit ratio, but you don't know how to do it, again, you just in natural language engage with the agent, and you just say you want to create profit from sales, and automatically the agent will give you that calculation. You can, of course, check it before it gets applied as well. So this is the area where a lot of our customers, really like to engage with Tableau agent, and not actually a lot of customers know that we have this tool called Tableau Prep. And Tableau Prep actually comes for free with our analyst license as well. So again, you can download Tableau Prep desktop and go play around with it.
Can I have something?
Yes, sure.
How did they work before if they don't know there is a Tableau Prep? You have to prepare your data before you start it.
Correct. So typically you'll do it in any out of tools outside of Tableau, correct? So you can do it in Snowflake, or you can do it in any other of those products, correct?
Okay.
In Databricks, or even Microsoft. We just find sometimes people maybe got a data set from their backend IT, and they maybe want to join it with an Excel file quickly. And this is what Tableau Prep will be able to help you. Or there's smaller organizations that doesn't have the capacity of a big backend team to create a warehouse. They can use something like Tableau Prep to be able to help bring the data together, to clean it, to join it, and then output it as what we call as a certified data set. And then the analyst will typically use that data set to build your analysis on that. And then the second part where Tableau agent will be able to be used is when what we call as our authoring. So again, there will be two components. So as soon as you've brought in your data into your Tableau environment, where you're going to start analyzing and creating your insights, one, it will actually look at your data and actually highlight certain suggestions that you maybe want to look at. So of course, the agent is clever enough. It also understands, what type of questions you ask to the data. It will actually learn from you. And then it will actually, as you can't see it here now, but it will maybe bring up like 4 or 5, certain questions. You just click on it, and it will actually then build that insight for you. The second part of Tableau agent in our authoring experience is where you want to ask it a question, correct? You don't know how to maybe visualize sales over a certain period and filter it by a certain product. Again, I can just engage with the agent. I can literally in natural language, ask it, and it will actually go and actually build that visualization for me. The nice thing is that the agent, like I said, is an assistant. So it's not you only have to use agent, or you only have to do it manually. When you're in the experience of Tableau, busy exploring your data, you can literally start doing your own thing. So if you have an idea of how you want to visualize something, you start dragging the data fields in, but then you suddenly want to do something else and you're not aware. You just go straight to the agent because it's right in that, in your workflow. You ask it the question. So it really is there to assist you as you start, building out either a dashboard, a report, or what Tableau is famous for is really to explore your data. Because remember, Tableau is very powerful in handling very large amounts of data. We don't have any restrictions about how much data you can bring in or how much time you have to refresh the data. We can connect live to the data, or we can create extracts as well. So that is from a Tableau server perspective, the AI capability that we have. So like I said, remember that Tableau Cloud is the same as Tableau server, but it's just our fully hosted SaaS offering. If you're tired of managing the backend, we manage it for you, we upgrade it, update it, and you can use the technology. What is a little bit different in Tableau Cloud, just because of the AI capability of the processing power, it's sometimes difficult to bring all of our AI capability to server. So in Tableau Cloud, we have something different called Tableau Pulse. And Tableau Pulse is a reimagined way and that we deliver data to business users. So if you can remember again when I spoke about the first slide, we're splitting analysts from business users, because we find a lot in the analytical world these days, everyone is focusing on analysts, how to make their life easier, how to build insights, dashboards, but how do we bridge that gap between your BI department and a business users that wants to engage with data? Because now at the moment, the only way they can engage with data is a dashboard. And we all know, you build a new dashboard, the up ramp of the dashboard is quite high, and then over time you'll see a decline of usage. It's because a business user is only interested in these KPIs. He wants to know what happens with these KPIs. And when you look at dashboards, sometimes a business user has to go to 3 or 4 different dashboards to go look at all the different KPIs that he's interested in. We flipped it around and we said, why don't we create a platform, and this is all based on Tableau, where we create like the social media of data. So imagine in the back end, you are now building what we call these pulse metrics cards, as you can see there on the screen. And these are specifically focused on a specific KPI. As you can see here, it says market share or total sales or close rate. So instead of business users now having to go to different dashboards to go see what's happening with their KPIs, they can only follow the KPIs that matter to them. So when they actually open Tableau Pulse, again, it can be on your mobile, it can be on email, it can be on the web, it can be in your application, you are only going to see the KPIs and pulse metrics that you follow and that you are interested in. So that user is not going to get a feed that's cluttered, that he doesn't have no interest of. And this is why it's so powerful. Now, where do we build AI into Tableau Pulse? So one is that in the back end, we analyze these KPIs and metrics as they change. And with the help of AI, we, for example, in the top, we have like a digest that tells you what's actually happening with your KPIs. And then actually, when you look at each KPI and pulse metric individually, in a natural language, it will explain to you what's happening with that KPI. It will tell you from a graphical perspective, if you look at it, maybe the first screen is a bit better, you can see like there, it's telling me like my basis points is down, and you can see actually the graph is dropping. So even from a visual perspective, you are being informed and your eye is being drawn to the KPI that is needing your attention, correct? Now, typically in all BI platforms, you can create a KPI card. It's very easy. But we take it one step further, that you can actually now go into that KPI card and you can actually start asking questions. It will also recommend with the AI model in the back end, why is that KPI trending like it is? And then you can actually break it down. It actually can give you reasons. Why is my sales dropped from last month? I can, click, and unfortunately today there's not enough time to actually demo this to you. But if you search on the internet Tableau Pulse, and I can send Sven and them some links as well, you'll see. You can break it down by category and see actually why is your sales trending down as well. And what we also have is that we have, for example, like an advanced Q&A, where you can actually, with a click of a button, it will actually explain to you. So if I follow 6 KPIs across my business, so in sales and service, it will actually explain to you how these metrics are actually tolerated. Sorry, I always struggle with that word. So how do they actually meet up? You know, why is this one actually affecting the other KPI? And then you can actually, as you can see on the bottom, I can in a natural language actually ask a question to my KPIs with, you know, if I don't get the answers that I want, you know, and actually do deeper exploration of my data as well. I'm going to pause there because the Tableau agent is the exact same experience in Tableau Cloud and Server, but there's one more component. But I just want to pause there to see if there's any questions on Tableau Pulse.
Can I ask again? I see it does a lot of feature like Power BI. Where is the big difference? I know a lot of people talking about Tableau can handle massive information,
Yes.
but I think Power BI catching up there. So where is the main differences?
So Tableau Pulse is very unique to us. We've not seen anyone really bring up anything like Tableau Pulse. It's very specific, user focused. Again, everyone's focusing on dashboards, pointing people to dashboards, and we're saying we need to make it easier for business users to interact with data. It's too difficult for business users, and that's why, you know, you can go through the stats, but yeah, I won't even, more than 50%, even more, of business users are making decisions of gut feel. They're not making it off data because it's too difficult for them to actually get to data, and actually too difficult for them if they have a question and there's a dashboard, then they have to go back to the IT team or the BI team. Please, I want this type of insight, and then they get back to them a week later. The dashboard has been changed. People don't want it, correct? You want people in business wants to make the decision basically on the fly. And I think that is a big area where Tableau is focused. For example, with Tableau Pulse. So Tableau Pulse, there's new capabilities being released on a monthly basis. And we see users actually using it. And Tableau Pulse is not there to replace dashboards. Tableau Pulse is there to give that quick insight. What's happening with my sales, my profit, my open, you know, calls, my abandoned calls, to quickly point you in the right direction. One step further, what is actually causing that KPI to trend as it is? And then you go to the dashboards to go dig deeper and to go ask more questions. But we really see Tableau Pulse bridging that gap from business users and executives to what they have currently just in dashboards.
Just a quick question.
So just speak up a bit for the other guys.
Oh, sorry. A quick question. So with Tableau Pulse, I think it's also very great to have it work alongside your reporting. So, for instance, if you have a really good report that's put together, it gives you insight as to what's going right and what's going wrong. And in order to strengthen your decision making, you could ask Tableau to make sure that you make decisions. That's how it's supposed to be. But that's the intended use, right?
Yeah, so definitely you can on each metric, you can actually link it back to a dashboard. It's really there, I will say, is to also proactively alert you. So in these pulse metrics, you can set goals. So if you say, I keep referring to sales because I'm in sales, but you can set a goal, correct? You can very quickly see if you have a certain goal set in your sales, how are you trending towards that goal? Or you can set a threshold. So if I have a threshold and I'm in a help desk and I don't want certain open calls to go past 100 open calls, I just set a threshold on that KPI. Immediately, if it reaches that threshold, it alerts me. So instead of me again having to go to a dashboard to go actually, you have the Tableau Pulse that's actively actually working for you in the back end. And then immediately you can go into that Pulse metric and actually, with a couple of clicks of buttons, actually find out what is happening with that, the KPI as well, you know.
Yeah, sorry, just a two-part sort of question.
Sure.
First one is from a business user perspective.
Yeah.
Let's say I naturally ask, what is the sales forecast? Brings out some other metrics. And I kind of want to see those metrics again. Is it possible from Pulse to then start, almost creating my own dashboard or set of reports that I can then take into a presentation. Or
Yeah, so on Pulse, what you can do is, for example, there will maybe be like a master metric, correct? Because you don't want to go build a metric for each person that maybe, again, you in sales, someone in retail is selling 20 different products in 5 different regions. You don't want to go build a Pulse metric for each of those different ones. So you build a generic Pulse metric. That user can go into that metric and say, I'm interested in actually only seeing sales for this product. So you can select as a back-end user what filters the user can get access to. That user can go into the filter, say, I'm only interested in XYZ product, only this region. As soon as he saves it, it will actually create a brand new metric. And then you follow that metric as a user. And if you don't want anyone else to follow it, then it's only you. You then can go and unfollow that generic metric. So that's how it actually makes it even more personalized. Like I said, you don't want to clutter someone's feed with these, So, and again, if I'm a manager and now I've created this metric, I've done it very easily. I don't need the help of, BI analysts. And I have a team, below me that is looking after the same region and product. I can just basically subscribe them to that metric. So the next time they actually go in, they will see that metric pop up as well, So it actually also is, taking a big load off the analytical team, where people's like, oh, but I want to see, this KPI or this metric for this product, or this
And then maybe following on from that, sorry, it's just, if you have that metric, can you then drill down further into it?
Correct, and that is the whole concept of Pulse. So unfortunately, it's very powerful showing you guys, so that's why I really, is that okay if I share some videos with you and you can share with them?
Please do. Yeah, and in fact, I mean, if you would like more time, we could do a follow-up next time.
Maybe I can get someone technical, because that really, once you see it, it's really powerful. You guys can even go play with it, so just go to Tableau Cloud. Trial, go download a trial, and Tableau Pulse is actually enabled. You just have to follow the steps, I think, in the settings, just activate the AI, and you can get access to Tableau Pulse, you can get access to Tableau Agent, or if you struggle, I also give Sven my email address. So, but that is exactly the big thing behind Pulse, is digging deeper into that metric. Why is it trending like that? And so that is really the why Pulse has been created. How long do I have? Sorry.
Well, you're still okay from our point of view, but you've got to
No,
get
it's okay.
Yeah.
So how long do you?
Maybe another 5 minutes?
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, from a Tableau Cloud perspective, I don't want to repeat myself, but again, Tableau Agent is available in prep. But an additional capability is in our cataloging capability within Tableau Cloud. So in Tableau Cloud, with Tableau, you get a data management add-on, and that is full end-to-end, lineage, row-level security, integration with, other cataloging systems. What you can actually use, the Tableau agent to be able to actually explain and create a catalog for you. So instead of, you have a field or a table, you struggle to, describe it, you ask the agent to actually help you, and it will actually populate it. Or if you have a dashboard and you actually want to explain what the dashboard is about, again, you can just use the agent to be able to help you actually do that for you. So again, authoring the same as Tableau Server. We also have the Tableau agent available in the Tableau desktop application. And maybe something to add, all of these engagements that you're having with the agent, so prior to October, you had to pay for each interaction you're having with the agent, because it's sending it to an LLM. From October onwards, it is included in your license. Our licenses are very simple: per user, creator, explorer, and viewer license. So And then there's just different bundles of what are the capabilities that you want. But again, with agent now, you don't pay for any of the interactions. Something very new, because like I said to you, dashboards are not dead. We've realized that a lot of people build these dashboards, but the business users, when they look at a dashboard, they don't know what they're looking at. They see a graph or a pie chart or a scatter plot, and they wonder like, what does this mean? We released something called dashboard narratives with Tableau Agent. So one, it will actually explain to you in a summary what you're looking at when you open the dashboard. Or you can actually, when you start clicking into the different areas in the dashboard being created, it will actually explain what you're actually looking at as well. And it will also give you outliers. So that's been in Tableau for a very long time, where, with the data guide, when you actually have built a dashboard, it will actually tell you what's quite interesting and what is the outliers that you need to look at. So there we've just enhanced it. And then in the roadmap is also the ability for then business users to ask questions on the dashboard as well. Instead of them having to filter and, they can just ask the question in natural language. I think I'm going to stop there because, and I'll just tweak your interest. So with Tableau Next, like I said, Tableau Server, Tableau Cloud is our traditional product that's been there for 22 years. Because we're part of Salesforce now, there's a very big Salesforce ecosystem in South Africa, around the world. So we've built from the ground up a agentic analytics product. And it's purely from sorry, I'm just sick, my nose is a bit blocked. Tableau Next is a complete conversational analytical tool. So where sometimes like our agent capability will sometimes translate what you're asking and say that you mean X, Y, Z. With Tableau Next, there's a semantic layer built into Tableau Next. So when you ask a business question, and I talk about, say, I'm in sales, well, it's based on Salesforce. So let's say I'm in Salesforce. I'll have Salesforce products, sales or service cloud or marketing cloud. If I ask that business question to the agent, it will go back to my semantic layer, because the semantic layer is where I define my business logic and my business jargon, like I can say. So if I talk in Salesforce lingo, I talk about ACV. It means net new revenue. But if I ask it to an agent, the agent is not going to know what I'm talking about. And that's where you define it within the semantic layer. So very interesting, a lot of benefit for Salesforce customers, but outside of Salesforce customers as well. It's also actionable, because agentic experience is not real agentic if you can't take action. So you can engage with the agent, and from there it will actually suggest certain things, and you can start taking action from there as well. But more than happy, to unpack this in greater detail, and you can of course go read up also.
Well, thank you for that. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Tough to do all of that content in just a few
No,
minutes.
sorry if it was rushed, but I have maybe 2 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes if you have more questions of someone.
Are there any questions on the online side of things? You are asking, you're on mute. Okay. Well, I think in this case, you've got an event to get to. So again, we're grateful. Israel, can I ask you just to let Andre out? On the desk there, you'll find a little red remote that'll open the door here. Yeah, reception.
Thank you again, and yeah, I'd love to be back and just be part of your community. So
yeah, thank you again.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, all right.
Nice meeting everybody.
I'll chat to you tomorrow. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to share my screen quickly, so I can do the next introduction. Because I've got Kuda on my left, And he's got a very long title, so I actually couldn't memorize it. I had to I had to just do a little cheat sheet for myself there online. So Kuda is joining us from SAP Analytics Cloud. In fact, Kuda joined us at reasonably short notice because his colleague is traveling overseas, and so he couldn't present to us today. So I'm delighted, Kuda, that you are with us. The title that nearly didn't fit on the screen, Business Technology Platform, Customer Success Partner. Am I right?
CSP.
Okay, well, that's right. Business
Exactly.
Technology Platform, CSP.
Exactly.
Okay, throw in an acronym here and there, it just cuts it right down into half.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, have you got access to share yet? Or
Yep,
try
I
and-
think I should be able to share. Let me just get back to the meeting.
Right, so guys, you can obviously tell we started late. We are going to run past our normal end time of 1800. Okay, so hopefully those in person and online can stick around longer. If you can't, we're recording the session, so don't worry. Okay. But have you?
Can I take over?
Yes, you're welcome to take the share. So it's over to Kuda. Thank you very much for joining us, braving the traffic and the chaos. I was saying to them all, I've never driven in the yellow line on the highway, but I was doing
You
that.
had to do it today.
I had to do it. At one point, I was going to be late for this event. I was like, oh my goodness. Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm glad
okay.
you're here. I'm glad the others are here as well.
All right.
So over to you.
Thank you very much. And
One last thing, just in terms of questions, how do you want to do it? Do you want to do it?
please go ahead, ask questions as I'm presenting. I'm happy with that.
Okay, so if there are questions in-house, in person, just blurt out. Online, just pop your hand up and then go for it. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. Okay. Like Sven said, Kuda Pasha Joya, but you can call me Kuda. That's the simplest. Call me Kuda or KD, that's who I am. And I've been with SAP for the past 8 years. My role being a solution expert for SAP Analytics Cloud, DataSphere, but now we have rebranded ourselves to Business Data Cloud. And I'm just going to take you just a quick 2 or 3 slides just to show you what it is. Then for this whole session, I've just come in to do direct demonstration in the system, and we can talk about what SAP Analytics Cloud can actually do for you and some of the capabilities that I'm going to showcase. Okay. I think one of the starting points that we've got to look at is, okay, let me just make sure that my mouse is here. There's this thing that we are actually looking at as organization. There's data, there's AI, and everybody's talking about AI. But one of the most important things that we lose is the context of our data, which is the business context. What is the context of this specific data? There is that specific gap, and we need to bridge that specific gap that we have. So from an SAP perspective, what we brought about is to make sure that as your business is running, you need to bring that context. And you've got so many systems that you're running on. I'm from SAP, so please just be aware that I'll be very biased towards SAP because that's what I look at. But you're running also other third-party solutions. You might be running Oracle, you might be running Microsoft, and any of those solutions. We've got to understand is how are we tapping into that data and create a context from a data perspective that is relatable by all our business users. And that's what we're putting in between. And this is where the business data cloud comes into play. What are we looking at? If you look at the bottom layer, that's where your applications are running. That's where the data is actually being generated. And one of the most frustrating things is uplifting of data from data, put it somewhere else. And what we have brought about now is the middle layer, which we call the business data cloud. Saying is somebody that have built in that application, they build the proper context, the models. When you now want to start doing your analytics, your reporting, decision-making processes, you already have models that are in here with the semantic layer. Call those data products. Calling them data products because they do have exactly data that is specific to that specific area, the business unit or else the function that you want to do. How can we now start joining this data to have a holistic view of business? That's a 360 view. But then once we have that layer, once we have curated the data, once we have curated all the views that we want for our business users, we have AI sitting on top. Only trusted data that we want to work with. And this is the context from an SAP perspective that we have actually built when we're talking about business data cloud. Business Data Cloud being composed of, I do have DataSphere, or managing from a data layer. And then the analytics, which is what I'm going to showcase today. I'm just showcasing the analytics part of it, which is within SAP Analytics Cloud. But what we also have within the Business Data Cloud, not looking at, but trying to build their AI more. How can I incorporate Databricks? I need to use Databricks. I need to use Snowflakes. It's a capability that we are bringing in. Right now on my slide, you're only seeing Databricks. But we have joined up with other providers for what I would call the ML engines that they run like Google Cloud. Well, it's one of the partners that we do have. Slide not updated because recently we updated all those to say how we're bringing all specific partners because we do have the data. When you look at it, 80% of the board data runs on SAP solution. It touches an SAP solution. So we do have the data, do have data in organizations. How do we make it easier? Zero copy. That's one of the things that we're doing. Have all the data in place. And what am I doing if I'm looking at the third party? Getting semantic views that tap into your data where it is actually sitting, but I built in my data product within my Business Data Cloud. Then it means that uplifting of data and doing all the other things have been eliminated. I can now start building my AI on top. Create those agents because we want to incorporate the agents that we're building into our applications. How do we incorporate them? Are sitting on curated data and we have a complete loop cycle that is actually being completed with the architecture that we have sort of built for you. Okay. But our focus for today shall sit on the 360 view. We just have a quick view of how my business is actually doing at the moment. And I'm going to touch on a couple of things. I didn't summarize them, and some of the slides I'll give you to say what is AI-assisted data actions, calculations, commenting, and all those kind of things. And I'm going to go straight into the system, SAP Analytics Cloud. Let's see, go home first. To go where I was sitting. I start off from here. Like, this is your landing page. Basically, showing you a couple of things that are important on here. First, I've got just ask. You're a business user. You just need to ask any questions about the data that you do have in here. What were my sales for last week, 2024? What is my revenue? What are my expenses? What is the questions that you want to ask? And you will be able to ask on here and type that specific question. So somehow it's already bringing in some of the things that are appearing there to say, okay, what is the lease accounting? And for what specific area do I need to do? And by the job family, you show me that and where is it coming from? It will be able to give me insights if this is something that makes sense. But what I'm going to do, it is now just quickly go into the just ask so that it can now start scanning all my models, all my data that is sitting there and check if this that I have asked it makes sense. And then if there is any visualization that comes up with this specific data, then it shows us. Once you have it, up to you as a business user to say, oh, what do I do? So like right now, listing clearance, responsible person, and I've got this, that is 12. That is the extra insights that is coming up in here. And who is the responsible person for those specific? Like for this one that I typed in, I just selected what was there. It didn't make sense. I did it on purpose. Now I'm now going to start a proper way of asking some of the business questions that the business users wants to ask. So let's start off here. Then say, show me revenue.
Just on the security side, how does sales manage low-level security or just user permissions on they can
a number of things that we've got to look at when we're looking at security. The security, first of all, remember when I showed you the business data cloud, I had applications. Data is coming from applications. That's where your security is defined. So already it's inheriting your security level that you've already provisioned from the lower level. If you're authorized to access data on salaries and everything else, if you are not authorized, unfortunately, those authorizations are being inherited upwards. You will not see it will say, unfortunately, you do not have access to the data, nothing to display. And I will show, from a model perspective, if it's a data that is defined within, it hasn't any security, it is a sort of like from a BI, where I was working in a big bank, and you call it a system account. That would go and interrogate everything that's happening, and then you bring in the data, which is not allowed. Normally, we're not allowed to do that. But we had that. It had all the privileges. But then you define it now within the model that you have built within SAP Analytics Cloud to say, okay, who is permitted to access this specific data? Even though I do have a system account pulling data from my source application, in the this tool, Kula has got permissions, Sven doesn't have, but he only has for region 1. For the other region, sorry, you don't have the access to those regions. That's how we define, and that is sitting in the model. So if I look at what I've come up with here right now, I went in, said, show me net revenue. What it did was it generated net revenue as a KPI. How did it know that it has to? It's something that we've built into the application, depending on the question that you have asked. What is the outcome that is supposed to come in? Now, I'm going to say by region.
Sorry, you were. Sorry, there's a lag.
There's a lag, sir. By regions. Let me see. What is it now going to do? Because it gave me 28 billion that was showing there. That was the revenue. Because I did not specify exactly what I needed to do as an end user. What is the specification of my query? I'm now refining the query that I have. Let's just have a quick look at what exactly is it going to generate for me. And from what it is going to generate, I'm going to start to work around now and say, oh, it has decided to give me a table. You see, this is what it has decided to do. Okay, then I say by year. Because this is just my different regions that I do have, and it's inheriting the hierarchy that is sitting on my base data. And we spoke about to say the context of your data, how is it, what is the semantics that I do have? If you saw the region, they had sort of like arrows that were there. I didn't drill in, but I'm just further expanding my query as a business user. Just have a quick look what it has just done now. Now have my data for my years, that 28 billion that you saw the first time that we started, at how it has been split. And if I now need to look at it in terms of the different region, what makes up like region 2, Trican, I've got CDAM and whatever, and how much have they contributed to all this? Now, I'm going to simplify it even further, say for a 2024. This is self-service. We are allowing our business users to say, please go and play around with the system and generate the artifacts that you want. And from here, you could generate all of these and start building your own dashboard that's specific to you. Don't need to be sort of like a pro developer to start creating some of the things that you need. So I have now 2024, okay? Is bar chart. I'm defining now to say, because from what we have defined from within our AI, looked at the data and realized, no, I better give you in a tabular format. But now I'm now forcing it. Now the way that I want it is me as an end user to say, please generate this like this for me. That's the first level that I wanted to showcase. And I'm going to go back to the home page now and open up a couple of things. This is what it is done. And if I look at what is sitting on here, this is a copy. I can now copy it to say, I need to plug it into a story that I'm going to build. For those, just give me 1 minute. I just want to have other options that I just need to quickly look at if they make sense. Okay, that's the region 2. Drill down. I'm not going to do all of them. I just want to look at what is on region 2. And this is the only region that I need. Filters that I'm actually working with. Look at the data. It has generated all these filters by itself. I didn't have to create the filters. It is looking at the actual. I've got many versions that I can potentially be looking at. Say, I need to compare these two budgets. Where is my budget? Just type budget here. That I did incorrectly, just give me. Just quickly check what I didn't have in there, but actually on the versions, you'll be able to compare. I'm gonna go now into a proper story that is built with all these things. And we're gonna take it one step further because the first level was just to generate your artifacts. And where I am going into now, directly from home to on your home page, all the things that you have previously done will actually be appearing in here. These are some of the things that I've already created. And my landing page for my story, the dashboards in SAP Analytics Cloud, we call them stories. So SAP Analytics Cloud is one solution for your BI. Do your reporting. But over and above, which other solutions are not, is a planning solution. So one of the things that we do have when we're looking at why are we looking at the insights that we are looking at in the business? Because we want to plan what we're going to do ahead, isn't it? We want to understand in the rear view mirror, what did we do? How did we perform? Once we have those insights, we want to then start executing forward because we have to be forward looking. And as we do forward looking, what are the scenarios that we want to start playing with? And if we do those specific scenarios, what is likely to be the outcome that we have? And that's the essence of the solution as SAP Analytics Cloud. So I'm going to go into quickly the business review. Then from business review, I'm going to start touching on the AI capability features. That's the first thing that I would, in fact, that's the only thing that I'm going to touch on because I'm not going to cover through the whole planning. I would need a proper 1 hour session, 2 hours. Okay, so the first part of it, as it loads my dashboard, I'm just going to touch on a few KPIs or as this specific chart that is on my region. Everything that you were seeing me doing on the other side is actually reflected here in the dashboard that I've already built for you. First item that we do have, me as a business user, I see a KPI which says 1.2 billion. What does that mean, that 1.2? It's just net revenue. What is underneath? What is lying behind it? We want to call what we call smarter insights. So the minute I highlight in terms of right button, it now shows me, please go and interrogate this data and give me more details around this specific KPI. Go and do is now interrogating all the data that is across my and bring in extra insights on this side. I'll leave it to, and not sure, I think I'm in the maintenance window now. 6 o'clock. Yes, but the insights that it is generating is almost the same as what you are seeing here. I just want to show you, but this is specific to my selection that I have done, build up this specific one. And this will be related also to how I have built this one. First thing that you can notice is in March of 2023, 425, an increase of 4%. It's details that you didn't have. This is extra detail that it is actually going on to generate for you and say it's coming up from Feb where it was 409. So you had a 4% increase immediately. That's extra insights that you're doing. And then when it's now started trending, just to have a quick look at how has it been doing from January to March, you can actually now start to say, oh, we have actually been increasing from a revenue perspective. So these are insights that would not have been readily available for the user, or it was built by the end user at the same time. And what were the top contributors now? Look at it to say, what are our specific products that have allowed us to generate that revenue that we are looking at? And when I look at a specific one, over, there's extra insights that can actually be generated, pulling that extra information, each item that we have. I'm not going to waste much time on this one. I want to go back now to this level. I've shown you Smart Insights, and I'm going to close the Smart Insights, but I want to choose now my regions. One of the things that we are is like, okay, which one is the best performing region? Yes, we can see, but by how much? Is region 2 more than what you're having in region 1? These are the things that you then start looking at to say, okay, let me find out what do I have in region 1, 373, and if I go to region 2, just quickly select region 2, and you see what it has done for me. It has generated a percentage difference that is coming up. If I look over here where my mouse is sitting, there is a difference in terms of the amount, which is, I have 111 million that was generated by region 2. It's more than what you have in region 1. And what percentage is it? It's almost about 30% more from that specific region. So solution is quickly allowing you to say, you don't have to crack your heads in terms of calculating what are my differences. I want to go into, I now need to do it the other way around. I selected region 1. You notice what happened. It was 111, and it will still be, I think, 111, but let me select region 2 first. If it's my Wi-Fi now, which is very slow, I should have recorded. I was very confident when I came here that the Wi-Fi would be excellent. Can you see now what it has done? It has now calculated it in the other way around to say region 1 is 111 million lower than what you're getting, and is 22% below what your region 1 is giving you. The other one was saying region 2 is 30% above. This is the other way around. Which one are you holding as your base? That's what it knows, what you have selected first. Okay. Okay. I'm going to stop on this one. I want to come on the forecasting. Remember, I spoke about the solution being a planning solution also, allowing you then to start building scenarios of what you're likely to do. And for this one, I'm going to expand and give you a full screen for the specific chart, because all the charts that I do have here, I can actually bring them up into full zoom and we try to understand. The dotted line that you do have here, this is the trend. That's a trend that has been built. And using the specific algorithm for time series that are built embedded within the solution. And the solid line that you're seeing here, these are our actuals in terms of how much revenues that we have generated. And when it starts looking at your trend, it is now focusing to say, yeah, is likely to be where your value is going to lie based on what I've just calculated. And if I look at the month of May 2025, we haven't reached there. What is likely to be the value? If you look at the top left corner, it's showing you your net revenue might be 384 million. This is a lower bound. What is the upper bound? So it will be definitely in that range. But you as an end user, then you have now the flexibility to say, okay, maybe allow it to be 410. That's up to you because you're then building up those specific scenarios. What is likely to be my gross profit, my net profit after that, if we incorporate the scenarios that we're going to look at. So this was the first part. Now going to go into second part, which is as we interact with these and as people plan now to say, guys, we have understood what has happened in our business. We understand the KPIs. Let's now start planning what we're going to do ahead for the forthcoming periods. That's where you have sort of like the plan. There is that ability to collaborate because we are saying we need to be collaborating because it's not a one-man show. We are a team that goes in and so that we are aligned when we do. And with that, I'm going to come to the next, to open it from the page, yeah. I want to do expenditure. There are specific things that I need to show you from a collaboration point of view and how we are going to start collaborating with my specific peers. I've got two profiles working with right now. Other one, I've already logged in. I just want to quickly jump into the second profile and maybe a couple of my colleagues here will be able to help me. It's sitting on here. This is my second profile. You see the difference?
Spanish for the one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is my colleague who's Spanish. I wish I could read Spanish, but I'm going to open also the same story that we are sort of like working with. It's this, and this is my colleague Doug Williams. He's Spanish, and everything that's happening in his portfolio is happening in Spanish. What I'm doing is Koda as the Englishman. I've got my own, which is sitting on the other side, and I'm doing everything that I need. I'll do it in English. I do anything in Spanish because I do understand anything. So this is a template. Now we are sort of like planning what we're going to do. Based on how we have performed, how can we go on and do? And actually, my colleague has used the total. Okay, we have updated the something. Fine. I want to come to this Q3, Q4 that you are seeing here, because this is about commenting. And what you then see is able to do, and I'm not going to add a comment, but I'm just going to read the comments that he has put in. He has put in this specific comment. That is in Spanish. There are many comments that have been put in on this specific number that we are looking at. Like, what are you going to do? And there is me who commented, there is Charlotte, there is Doug Williams. They have all commented. And that's what I expected to see if I'm in my profile. My profile is sitting here. Now I'm back to myself. And I'll see exactly the same things that have been done by the other users. But now, I want to share something very important with you. I don't want to go through all this. This is where we have summarized this specific thread. It is now going to analyze what is in my comments. Just give me a high-level summary of what are people saying about this specific KPI that we have. So the summary starts with the AI assisted and whatever, which is, this is about commenting that I have just put in. But what is important is saying, okay, Just want to do this 1 minute. Give me 1 minute so that at least you have a full view of the small view that I had. Yeah. So it's AI-assisted comments enables multilingual feedback. It has gone in and analyzed all the things that we have and now starts giving me recommendation to say increase, reducing employee costs annually by 8%. And how are we doing that? Maintain 15% of current staff. This is comments that are coming from the people that have commented. And I want to go back to this one. The 8%, the 15%, these are comments from Charlotte. And what Doug Williams said is something that is also sitting here because it has translated his specific feedback. Let me go back. I think he's the one who is saying a team is investigating high overtime payments over the past 14 months with a report and the presentation of findings planned for next week. I think that's what he wrote in the, just copied it from one of my colleagues that sent me a comment. So that's basically what the solution is allowing you to do. And at any point in time, I now need to add my own comments. How can I do that? I can add directly the comment like this. Going in here and add a comment, but I don't want to add it like that. I'm going to add something very important, which is simple. Self-service, people will be able to do. I'm going to say add, and I'm adding that comment column, and I just say single. I'm now separating that green dot that you were seeing here. Let's bring it into a proper column, which is sitting here. And this is still the same comments that I was looking at. Still the same comments. But now when I start typing in my comments, look what's happening here. It has a rephrase. It means something that I'm writing here, okay, today's BI call is writing. Let's rephrase. You can ask it because you would have written whatever it is that you want to write. Maybe you left a couple of phrases or whatever it is. It can go and rephrase for you. And you can now start applying. And the minute that I say, yes, this is what I want it to be, I can now quickly edit as part of the comment. People will be able to like my comments that I've put in to say, here are the comments that you do have. Look at it. That's excellent collaboration that you're actually doing. Yes. Okay.
I like that, by the way. The insert in the column side of things, that is nice. Yeah.
Let's see. Perfect. Okay. Now, as business users, we are like, oh, how can I'm already in the story. Can I go and do exactly the smart insights that I was doing? They just asked. We will then be able to jump directly from the story where you are and go start your smart insights. The same thing that we had revenue. They generate revenue for me, and which revenue is it going to start looking at? But an end user now might not know all the attributes there on the, because just gave them the KPIs that we do have. So what they might want to do then next is to say, I need to explore and analyze this specific data. So I'm going to go and run the data analyzer. So I can just click from here, and then it takes me now to data analyzer. It's going to show me all the attributes that I do have, all the measures that I do have, some that even were not created on the what? On the report that I'm working with. So let me just quickly jump into the analyzer. And within the analyzer, we're going to start to create our own calculations because they have done calculations that they've built into the story, into the dashboard. I want to create my own calculation, the specific things that I need to do. But how do I do that as an end user, as a business user? Because some of the things that you do, if you're using a BI, it's a little bit complicated how you create your calculations. I'll go in here. Say, oh, I've got this. I'm going to say, add a calculation. What it comes up here is, oh, what is the calculation name that you want to give? I'm going to retain it as calculation 1, calculation 2. And in here, I can put the formula now. That is if I know what the formula is. But I don't know what the formula is. So what do I want to do? I want to express employee cost, employee cost as a ratio of expenses. Operating expenses. Let's see what it generates. I haven't tried it. I'm sorry, guys. I know it can do these things, but I haven't tried it. I'm doing some of the things on the fly. If I had enough time, I would have prepared. But let's see what it does, because the power of the solution is, yeah, that's what we need to test. So immediately it generated my formula. There is my formula that it is generated. And I'll be able to see what exactly is that when I go on and say, let's create it. That's the first thing that I'm going to do. I've created that specific one. Let me just quickly look at where is it.
See.
Apologies.
We actually probably don't have much more time because we're
It's
already
okay.
20 minutes
20
over.
minutes over.
Yeah,
Okay,
so,
sorry. If you can just put it for me, I'll just complete with this one.
Yeah.
Because what we'll do is, if there is need for us to have a follow-up sometime in the future, that's what you see. Can you see? It has put in this amount, but what is it? Because the formatting that I've actually put in there, I have not formatted it the right way. It's just taking exactly what is, and it's putting it in millions, because it's part of the build the process that I do have. So I can now even go and style it and say, please don't use the formatting that is here. What I'm going to do is scale, make it unformatted. Don't show me what is sitting here. So as you already can see, it's almost about. And then I put it as a ratio, which is 0.48. It's about 48%, because I can say, give me as a what? Multiply by 100 to make it a percentage. That's what it is going to give me. But I'm going to go back. It is a final bit of it. If you have already a formula that has been defined, you can now go back to that formula, assuming somebody has already defined the formula which is sitting here, and you say, can you explain this formula for me? Remember, we typed what I wanted to do. Now I'm forcing it to explain to me, what is this specific formula? Can you read what it has said now here? This calculation divides the value of employee expenses by the value of operating expenses. The result shows the proportion of operating expenses. This helps you to understand the share of employee-related costs within our overall operation. So you will be able to get all these insights based on some of the calculations that have been done, and you'll be able to create your own by defining it in natural language to say, I need a formula that does this. It knows the context of your data, it knows which elements to go and pick from so that it creates a formula for you. Okay. I'm gonna stop here. I've just touched the, the tip of the iceberg, not everything, because I would have gone into the data actions, which is a further more advanced than what I've just covered on the calculation. I don't know if there are any questions. I'm sorry, I have been talking too much without giving you the opportunity to ask any question on some of these things. Any questions?
Are there any questions? I mean, I have a question about which of this is being done with Joule, or is it Analytics Cloud part, or is it the SAP side of things, the AI tool?
Okay. Let me, first of all, define from a Joule perspective, that's more like our chatbot. That's where it goes and they asks everything. SAP Analytics Cloud started with the just ask. And that's where this whole idea came from. So the original Joule is this, and it was embedded within SAP Analytics Cloud. And what we are saying now, going forward, you will have a button. It will not say just ask. It will be saying Joule, but it's the same engine that is running to do all. Let's call it just asking SAP Analytics.
Other questions? I know we are quite overdue, and Kuda, it is very unfair to you to ask you to show you all this great stuff in such a short space of time. So you did very well, and if you are happy to do so in future, you can share some more stuff with us. I do think we probably should call it quits now. Thank you very, very much. I'm just going to take over the share because I want to just do the final closeout. There we go.
Somebody raised their hand.
Sorry, was there a question? I didn't see that. No?
Yeah.
Oh, clapping. Right. Okay. Right. Excellent. Everyone, thank you for sticking around. We're very, very overdue. That doesn't help when we started so late as well. Thank you for joining. I'm sharing my screen, although it's not on there. Okay, doesn't matter. As long as you can see it online, guys. And then here, I just need to. Kellen, is there any way you can get that screen share full screen? For some reason, it's gone tiny in the bottom corner. Just while it's being put up there, it is our user group survey. So if you've got any feedback from today's session, any suggestions or any comments, we always love to get that feedback. Just take a minute or two, scan the QR code. For some reason, it's tiny in the bottom corner there.
Can you click on it?
I can probably try to go to the Teams meeting. No, that didn't help me. Okay, well, having some issues there. The other one is our GitHub repository where the content from today's presentations will be. Just give us a little while to do that. The YouTube video will also be available in our YouTube channel during the course of next week. And then the final thing just to say as we close it out is 29th of January, okay, is our next event. I did mention that will be part 2. So that will be Click and Microsoft. Okay, so with that, I say, firstly, thank you to all of you in person, online for joining us today. Secondly, thank you to Kaylin and Michael for helping organize today. Big thanks to Intellect for providing the room and the pizzas outside. And then an extra big thanks to Andre, who's already left, and then to Kuda for coming through. We're delighted you guys could join us. I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much. And we look forward to seeing you all in the new year for the next session. Okay, so thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, cheers, everyone. Kaylin, thanks very much. Yeah.
Always a pleasure. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy the pizzas. I'll see you guys in Jan.
All right, tremendous. Thanks.
The Happy New Year, because
All right, sorry, guys, if you want to drink this.